The Lantern Festival's secret. A love story lit by wishes. Welcome, dear friends, to a story as warm and hopeful as 1,000 glowing lanterns rising into the night sky. Nestle down, get truly comfortable, and let the gentle magic of this tale guide you to peaceful slumber. Our story begins in a city far, far away, in a place vibrant with ancient traditions and bustling energy. Every year, as autumn turned to winter, the city transformed for the Lantern Festival. The air would thicken with the sweet scent of grilled mochi and roasted chestnuts, and the streets would shimmer with paper lanterns of every conceivable shape and size. But the true magic happened down by the old stone bridge, where people gathered to release floating lanterns onto the river, each carrying a secret wish. He was a photographer, you see, always chasing light. Every festival, he'd position himself on the bridge, his camera poised, ready to capture the fleeting beauty of wishes taking flight. His name was Kenji, and he believed that in every flicker of a lantern there was a story waiting to be told. Then there was she. She was a storyteller, though she didn't know it yet. She came to the festival every year, not just to watch the lanterns but to feel the quiet yearning of the crowd, the shared hopes carried on the breeze. Her name was Hana, and she always carried a small worn notebook filled with observations and fragments of poetry. They were like two halves of a beautiful unwritten poem, each observing the same moment from a slightly different perspective. Kenji, he couldn't help but notice her. Her quiet intensity, the way her eyes seemed to absorb every light, every shadow. He'd often catch her sketching in her notebook, her brow furrowed in thoughtful concentration, and her smile. Oh my! It was like a sudden warm glow illuminating her whole face when a particularly beautiful lantern drifted past. He'd try to catch her eye, you know. Just a quick, fleeting glance over the lens of his camera, but she was always so lost in her world of words and quiet contemplation. She's gathering inspiration. One chilly festival night, the air crisp with the scent of pine and anticipation, Kenji, feeling particularly well, emboldened by the communal spirit and the soft glow of 1,000 floating wishes, decided he'd try something. As he packed up his camera gear, he noticed a small, beautifully crafted paper lantern, unlit, left on the railing. He'd watched Hana admiring it earlier. So, he carefully picked it up and tucked a small, neatly folded piece of paper inside. On it, in his precise, neat handwriting, he'd simply written, "May your wishes take flight. What story do they tell?" He placed the lantern back, just a little bit more prominently than before, and quietly left. A tiny, hopeful invitation left amidst the fleeting beauty of wishes. Hana found it. She did. Later that night, as the last few lanterns drifted away, she returned to the railing, drawn by an inexplicable pull. Her fingers brushed against the small, unlit lantern. She picked it up, her eyes widening in surprised delight, and then the note. Her heart gave a little flutter. She looked around, scanning the magical, emptying bridge. But the bridge was mostly deserted. She smiled then, a small, private smile, a secret warmth spreading through her. She carefully placed the note inside her own worn notebook, a precious new piece of inspiration. The very next year, as the Lantern Festival approached, Hana decided to respond. She didn't know who he was, this silent well-wisher, but she felt a delightful connection. She found a beautiful blank lantern, shaped like a tiny boat, and on it, with her finest brush pen, she wrote a short, poignant poem about the wishes she had carried, about stories waiting to be told. And beneath it, she added a simple question. The light called to me, what story does your lens capture? She left the lantern perched on the same railing, near where he usually stood, hoping he would see it amidst the new tide of hopes. She waited, heart thumping softly, and so it began. A silent, artistic conversation played out through hidden notes and beautifully crafted lanterns during the most magical night of the year. Sometimes their messages were simple, a shared observation about the changing river currents or a quiet appreciation for a particularly vibrant lantern. Kenji would write about the way the light danced on the water. Hana would reply with a short verse that captured the feeling of a moment. Sometimes it was just a simple "May your light never dim." They learned so much about each other without ever truly speaking. His quiet thoughtfulness revealed in his careful choice of words, her profound empathy, evident in the depth of her poetic responses. It was like building a constellation, star by gentle star, each message a new point of light connecting their hearts, a bridge made of ink and paper, and the shared magic of the Lantern Festival connecting two souls. They were falling in love not with appearances, not with spoken words, but with minds, with spirits, with the very essence of each other. An exquisite, slow illumination. Then came the year of the unexpected early snow. The festival usually boasted clear, crisp autumn nights, but this year a soft, ethereal snowfall began just as the first lanterns were being lit. The city was transformed into a wonderland. Kenji was there, of course, capturing the surreal beauty of snow and light. He was just about to pack up, his fingers numb from the cold, when he heard a voice. A soft, clear voice humming a tune he recognized from one of her notes. He turned, his heart giving a sudden, unexpected leap, and there she was. Hana, her back to him, holding a lantern, a delicate snowflake caught in her hair. he watched her for a moment, the hum of the festival fading into the background, replaced by the pounding of his own heart. This was it. No more notes, no more silent exchanges. This was the moment for sound, for presence, for true connection. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. Excuse me, he said, his voice a little shaky. He reached out, not for a note, but for a delicate, unlit lantern sitting near her, the same shape as one he'd picked up earlier. I think this lantern needs a little help taking flight. She turned. Her eyes, those beautiful, expressive eyes, widened in surprise. They met his, really met, a full, direct, breathtaking connection that felt as ancient and as hopeful as the festival itself. And in that shared gaze, all those notes, all those unspoken words, all those years of silent serenades, they shimmered between them, a tangible, electric understanding. "Oh," she whispered, her voice a little breathy. "Oh yeah, it does." And then she smiled, a full, radiant smile that reached her eyes, crinkling them at the corners, and it was even more beautiful, more vibrant, more real than he'd ever imagined. The world seemed to pause, just for them. They didn't just light the lantern. Oh no, they talked for hours that night, their voices a soft duet against the backdrop of the falling snow. They filled in all the blanks, connecting all the dots of their long, secret communication, bringing the words to life with the warmth of their voices. The nuances of their laughter, all those missed connections, all those silent serenades, they finally found their voices, blossoming into a vibrant, living dialogue that felt both brand new and deeply familiar. And as the snow finally began to thin, they realized their love story had been written, softly and sweetly, like a perfect poem all along. And it was perfectly, wonderfully illuminated, a masterpiece of quiet longing and shared dreams. And that, my dears, is the story of Kenji and Hana and their exquisite Lantern Festival secret. A reminder that sometimes the most profound connections are found not in grand gestures, but in the quiet, gentle hum of shared moments, in the unspoken hopes that bind us, and in the patient unfolding of true affection, lit by the quiet magic of a festive night. Now close your eyes, let the warmth of their tale fill your dreams. May your own stories be as sweet and as beautifully illuminated. Sweet dreams, sleep tight.